Hi, this is Phil Menez, Vice President of Go-to-Market Execution at Vast Data, and today we're going to give you a brief introduction to the Vast Data platform. When I'm talking to partners and customers, I get a lot of questions like, how do you compare to company XYZ? In the early days, that was always storage companies, and now we're getting asked for comparison solutions across the entire data landscape. We can confidently say that we don't compare. When you look at the trade-offs broken, the sheer number of problems that we solve, and the radical improvement in our customers' ability to get value and insights out of their data, there's no solution like the Vast Data platform. It is unique. I consider it a data modernization platform. So that means I can take data from all sorts of different sources and environments, and regardless of where it comes from, when it lands on the Vast Data platform, it is AI ready. It is big data ready. It is cloud ready. It is container ready. It is collaboration ready. It is taggable. It is queryable. It is indestructible. It is space optimized. And it is supercharged for performance. So we don't just modernize your data center. We modernize your data and your data center. So let's look under the covers and see the different components of the Vast Data platform. Starts with the datastore. This is the first thing we brought to market. And at its core, it is multi-protocol. We have something called the element store, which allows us to export data in whatever protocol we need for the workload at the time, regardless of the protocol that it was written in. So that means I can ingest data with object, read it off with file, vice versa. We've also recently upgraded the data store to include blocks. So this is a true universal storage, multi-protocol solution. We've broken trade-offs around scalability and simplicity. Platform scales from terabytes to exabytes, and we have customers with hundreds of petabytes being managed by one FTE. We've also broken trade-offs around performance and cost. With the dramatic efficiencies that we have, we're able to eliminate the need for tiers in the environment. We've used it to displace backup and archive solutions, content repositories for media and entertainment customers, parallel file systems supporting supercomputers, and in greenfield environments supporting the world's biggest GPU clusters, right? All on a single, simple solution. You sacrifice nothing in terms of resilience. This ability to handle failures, not just to prevent downtime and data loss, but to prevent any kind of disruption in performance or experience at all, is unparalleled. We also have industry-leading efficiency again, industry-leading security with our zero trust architecture, and all the different features and functionality required to be named a leader in Gartner's Magic Quadrant. So that's the data store. Then we have the database, right? And we can look at a really storage-centric use case of the database, which we give you a structured table view of all of your metadata. So instead of crawling a file system, I can use SQL queries to understand what's happening with my data. We talk to customers all the time that are like, we don't really know what data we have, how it's being used. With the database, I can now, again, use those database queries and get immediate results. Show me all the files that look like this, bigger than this size, created on this date with this name, whatever it is, I get those results instantaneously without crawling a file system. But that's kind of really just the beginning of the database. It also breaks fundamental trade-offs, allowing our customers for the first time ever to be able to consolidate real-time streaming, data warehouse, and data lake workloads all onto a single, simple platform without compromising on any of the unique performance attributes for all of those different styles of analytics. Now I have one single common platform for all my data analytics. And that means that I don't lose real-time context for my batch workloads. I don't lose the capability to run all sorts of interesting data analytics techniques on my real-time data, right? I have all of that context and structure built around my data all in one place. So that's the database. And the next piece is the engine. This is where things start to get really interesting. Now we're talking about running applications on the platform. At Vast, we have this saying, we like to bring AI to your data, not the other way around, right? So we have a container runtime. So I can run containers right on the platform. And then we also have this concept of triggers and functions, which means I can have certain actions taken on the behavior that I'm seeing in my data. So I like to use a really simple example. I've got three different types of data, right? Audio, video, and images. I have three different inference modules, each one to analyze audio, video, and images. So when an image is stored, I automatically launch the inference module designed to analyze image. Same thing for audio, same thing for video. So the behavior is being dictated by the data as it's landing in the platform. What's really cool is I can take the results of those inference jobs and stick it in the database. So again, I have that real-time context about my data as it's coming in. And now that the database has been upgraded to support vectors, I now have all of my data available to AI in real time. So there's no lag between what I can ask my chatbot about my data. It's all happening in real time without all sorts of different complicated workflows and advanced consulting. We're truly productizing AI and inference for the enterprise with the Vast Data Engine. We have some really cool stuff we're also working on with NVIDIA called the Insight Engine. So definitely check out that joint solution that we have with NVIDIA. And finally, we tie all of this together with the data space, right? This is a centrally managed global namespace. So this is breaking trade-offs around having my data in every location to get that kind of close to me performance with the consistency challenges of that, as well as the cost challenges. So without needing to actually have my data in every single location, the data space makes it feel like my data is everywhere, whether that's the edge, the core, or the cloud, right? I truly enable that global collaboration, that hybrid cloud strategy, again, in a way that's cost optimized and without trade-offs. And ultimately, when our founders built the Vast Data Platform, they had this really cool concept in mind, something called the thinking machine, right? And we've been steadily progressing to the point now where the platform is complete, right? We have all the different pillars from being able to ingest data from different types, having that real-time data analytics, that transactional data warehouse built right on top of the data store, the engine allowing me to take action on my data and the data space, making it available everywhere. So we're truly at a point where customers can now unlock the full potential of their data. So definitely reach out to your local Vast partner manager rep. Happy to talk to you directly about how we can bring Vast data into your environment step by step, allowing you again to tap into that full potential and take advantage of all the tools available today. So again, Phil Menez here, VP of Go-to-Market Execution. Looking forward to having more conversations about how Vast Data can help you and your teams.